Yo, what's up everyone? Colby Cheese here with yet another Heroes of the Storm full game commentary, this time featuring Tassadar. And now he is listed as a support character, however, I would actually list him as more of a, I'd say assassin support. He's a bit of a ranged carrier, or a bit of a ranged carry that also can be used to support the team. You could also say OP. That's probably another way to describe it. But then again, a lot of the characters in this game, I'm starting to realize, are pretty much, they're all OP. They're all just the same amount of OP, so look at it however you would like. Now, Tassadar is really cool because since he's supposed to be a support, he's able to shield himself and his allies to prevent damage from being taken, yet he can also dish out some pretty good damage. Now, the damage itself, he doesn't have the best scaling in terms of just his regular auto attacks. Is, you know, his only way to deal damage is with his little bubble that he puts down. That little bubble you see right there. That little bubble does a little bit of damage over time, and it adds up just a little bit. I've actually increased the damage of that bubble with the very first talent that I take, but really his damage comes in the form of, later on you get these talents. There's, I think, 3 in total that will increase your auto attack damage. So you have these little actives that you can use, as well as your ultimate, which will increase your auto attack damage. So you get up to an extremely unrealistic, just ridiculous amount of damage that you can do on your auto attacks, and you'll kind of see how that plays out here by the end of the game. Now, early on, your damage comes in the form of just outlasting your opponent. You just continually auto attack them down, and when they try to trade with you, you've got this shield, so you're really not taking that much damage at all yourself. So you'll notice here, first one here, I've taken his focused attack. Every 5 seconds, I get that extra large attack on my auto attacks, and it will make a pretty big difference, in fact. So going up against a couple of their team here, I'm going to do my best to just, like I said, lay down the auto attacks as much as possible. That's really the goal here, is to just continually auto attack people down as much as possible. And we're running up here. Looks like there is going to be the tribute fight. Now the thing about the tribute fights, this is what you want to do. You want to sit there outside of the tribute itself, in my opinion anyways, and you want to just auto attack people down. You're never going to win these tribute fights by just continually trying to walk up and grab the damn thing. You want the enemy to do that while you sit there and poke them down, and eventually you'll win the fight in that way. So this is what I do. I just sit out in a safe area, try to stick with my team as much as possible, and kill off a few of the enemies. Once they're all killed off and I am hopefully at a fairly healthy state, then we can go ahead and try and grab the damn thing. So as you can see, this is a kind of prolonged fight going on for a while, and look at that hook. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I do love some Stitches. We'll have to do a commentary of Stitches before too long as well. So I've already got my level up. So now I have another buff to my auto attacks. I've already taken I think I've taken 2 so far. I've taken the one, the empowering one. Okay, and then the searing attacks will be the second one. So I have the searing attack upgrade, which is a little active, and I haven't actually clicked it yet. But what it'll allow me to do is I can activate it, and for a short period of time, I use a little bit of my mana, and I gain 50% increased attack damage. So it's pretty nice. So that plus, so if I use that, and if I use the buff that I get where every, wow, that was just a nice little snipe there from Zeratul. Anyways, if I use that, there's the buff where every 5 seconds I get the 50% increased auto attack, and then I use searing attacks, that's 100%. And I think at the end I'll grab one that gives me 50% increased attack speed, so I'll use that, and then I'll use my ultimate, and I'll just go complete beast mode. So for now, I'm just going to throw down those little area slows to kind of poke away at the enemy's life pools, and kind of sit there and figure out who's getting attacked for the most part. I'm going to put shields, there we go, putting the shield to myself. And they won't be able to really whittle down my life very much at all. I also like to place down shields whenever I have a Zeratul on the team. I try to put shields on Zeratul. He is a squishier character, and generally he is right there jumping into the middle of the enemy, trying to just beast them up. So I want to make sure that my Zeratul stays alive. they will be able to dish out the most amount of damage as far as I'm aware. Now I have my ultimate. So the ultimate is pretty cool. It's like you basically go into an Archon and you gain this massive amount of shield, and you gain the ability of just having really big auto attacks. So whenever I really want to do some damage to somebody, I'll pop the searing attacks buff as well as that Archon. Now I can actually use searing attacks on quite often. It doesn't have the longest cooldown. I can use it pretty much anytime I really want to do a lot of damage, but I don't want to pop my ultimate, and that's not going to be a big deal at all. So far, I'm able to kill people off without really using any of those methods, and so I'm just going to kind of hang on to them. They do cost mana, and the thing about using Zeratul in this fashion, or sorry, Tassadar in this fashion, is that you'll notice you're going to be low on mana quite often if you continually use those shields. And I do my best to never use my E ability. So I haven't really specifically talked about his abilities, but I'll go ahead and do that as best as I can right now. So his Q, that is the shield that I'm able to place on myself. It's just going to absorb an amount of damage for a time. And you could also take a talent which, after the shield expires, after the time limit expires, you'll retain half of that shield. So that's a good way to be. Like, there are people that play Tassadar as full-on support, where you make your shields better, and instead of your ultimate being damaged, you take this little wall. There's this really cool wall that you can create that will block off your enemies from walking through different areas, so it's pretty cool. Now my W, that is the little bubble that I'm putting down. It slows down your enemies, and at the same time it does damage to them. You can also buff it to give move speed to anyone who walks into it that is your ally, which I never do that. Now here's what I'm about to take, Distortion Beam. This is something that makes DPS Tassadar really insane. So I am really good in those team fights and just chasing people down, because now I have this little beam, and every time I auto attack, boop, somebody is slowed down. So it just makes it really easy for us to lock people down and chase them. Enemy killed right there. And you'll notice the enemy Tassadar actually took that wall that I was talking about. So he has that cool skin that makes him look like a mech warrior, which I love, by the way. If I keep playing Tassadar, I feel like I have to have that skin. It's so good. So you get this little wall to block people off. I think he got it because he thought he was able to be useful in these team fights. Yeah, they don't even have anyone here to stop me from grabbing this tribute. Bam! That's my tribute, son. Alright, so my E. This is something I don't really use that often, and it is very situational. It is... I can't remember the name of it, but essentially it makes you go invisible, purely invisible, where they and also untargetable. You cannot take damage, and you can't even be stopped by walls and things like that, so you can walk through. You have no pathing that you have to worry about other than just like trees and terrain and stuff like that. So it's an escape option for you. If you get in the thick of it, you pop that and you just get the heck out. So that's pretty much Tassadar in a nutshell. His passive I tend to use less frequently than I probably should, but it is very nice. Whenever you're walking into bushes, you can push that your passive. It was actually not even a passive, it's just an extra activated ability where if you activate it, it gives you extra sight range and it reveals things that you normally wouldn't have revealed, such as people that are hiding in bushes, for example. So that's pretty good. Alright, so what I'm about to take here is Berserk. It's the talent that I was talking to you earlier, and now that I have Berserk, I can go complete ham on people. That's why I'll turn on Berserk. I turn on Searing Attacks. I've got that little 5-second auto attack deal, and then I've got my ultimate. I've been two-shot by Tassadar on squishier characters like a Nova or something like that. So, I mean, I can dish out damage that is so unreal you would not believe. Of course, the stars kind of have to align. I basically have to be in a situation where they're not going to instantly run away or whatever. But, again, I've got that slowing attack, so I can do a lot of damage in a short period of time, and it really is sweet. Not only that, but I've got my shields, so I'm very tanky in that sense. I can also get that free little escape. So let's see if I do it right here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of there. There was a lot of people there, and looks like Zeratul's on the way. Oh, it looks like Zeratul used his little lockdown ability on me. I may have to go ahead and go ultimate on his ass, and we're going to go ahead and just keep running here. That ultimate does give me the shield. Now we're going to turn back around. I'm going to pop my Searing Attacks, pop the Berserk mode, and slow him down now that we have Tychus. And bam, that is the kill. They get a little bit too greedy. You do not want to get too greedy when you are chasing around a Tassadar who has all of his cooldowns ready to go. As you can just see, it did not fare too well for that Zeratul at all. So we're going to keep using that combo any chance we get, because it just wrecks faces. I mean, this is the literal I guess, face melter of the game. If there's anyone in this game that you can say melts faces, it's Tassadar, because his beam, it just stays constant, and it wrecks. So of course, I do need to be careful. You guys said in my previous video, I need to stop saying wreck. So sometimes whenever I do my commentaries, I get in the habit of saying the same word over and over. So I'll try my best to, I guess, keep it less wrecking. Anyhow, here we go. We got the Tychus coming in. He's trying to lay down the beam of doom, so I'm going to stay out of range of that for now. I'm just going to hang out in the area and try to force their hand to come over here and attack me, put down that shield. We do have ETC coming in with his ultimate. As you can see, I'm going to have to get out of there as I'm getting really low life, but I used the free escape, and I've got the shield ready to go. So if I see Zeratul, the enemy Zeratul, I should say, for some reason I thought that was the enemy Zeratul, so I put down the slow on top of it. Oh my goodness, Zeratul! Enemy Zeratul kind of locked me down and stopped me from grabbing that. I'm going to have to put a shield on myself in case he tries to jump over the wall on me, and that shield should keep me from getting one shot for the most part. And I do have my free escape as well, so that should be good to go. Hopefully I don't get sniped here. And I think Zeratul and I are both out. No, I'm going to actually go help out with the golem. These golems, man, I'll tell you right now, Mercs are the way to go. The more I play this game, the more I learn the strategies. If you are capturing all of the mercenary camps pretty much at any point that you see them available, then you're going to win the game, as far as I'm concerned. And I have a commentary coming to you guys soon with Gazlo, and that's pretty much all he focuses on, getting mercenary camps. And you'll see what I'm talking about. But for now, we are Tassadar. We win fights by being awesome and melting faces. I'm going to go ahead and try to hold off the minions from this fort right here. I don't want to lose any more life off of it, and we're going to try and get that push started on the mid lane. And then we're going to head over to the next tribute. So we've already cursed the enemy team one time. Whenever you curse people in this game, man, you can really, if you spread it out correctly and be careful with your team fights, you can take several forts off of one cursed tribute thing. But here we go. I got it before they were even able to get in there and stop me. The Zeratul sacrificed himself. They were coming in on horseback, and he actually slowed them down and forced their hand. So it gave me just enough time to handle it. I went into my ultimate form to finish everyone off, but they decided not to battle me. So no big deal. It is a very long cooldown, but rightly so. I mean, it is a very powerful ultimate. It's probably one of the more interesting ultimates in the game for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and go for this Merc Camp. The main thing to keep in mind with this Merc Camp, it has a little bit of a wizard in the back that puts shields on everybody. So you want to make sure and do that. You'll notice every once in a while my attack hits for 350. So I go from hitting for 180 up to 350. And that's because of that little talent that I took, which gives me those extra auto attack damage. And Zeratul, oh man, he came in here. He thought he was going to stop us from getting the Merc Camp. And he just fell down like a knife through butter, pretty much. Alright, now we're going to take out this big golem. So we have the Knight Camp and the big golem. This is going to be really nice. It's going to be very difficult for them to defend from all of these mercenaries coming from all over the place. Not only that, but we're actually about to get the next tribute. So we're going to have several. We're going to have a Knight Camp, we're going to have a Golem coming in, and we're going to get this tribute and curse them so their towers are not even going to be attacking us back. Let's put down that slow and put out, okay, there we go, Berserk answering attacks. Going to do as much damage as possible. Now, I actually had to back out for a little bit, so I didn't get to do my full damage potential. Also didn't have my ultimate ready. Not for another 17 seconds anyways, but Tychus has the Odin, and he is making sure that nobody is able to hang out and do anything right there. So enemy team is cursed, and at the bottom lane we do have the Golem, and it is full health pretty much anyways, and we are ready to go. So this is going to be nice. I'm pretty sure this is GG. Don't think that they have any chance of defending this push right here. So this fort's going to go down, and we're going to go straight into the base with the massive Golem, and I'm Tassadar again. So it's going to be very difficult for them to actually push me out. They can try and full-on assassinate me, but I have my free escape. So let's go into full Archon mode, Berserk, searing attacks, and that is the quickest kill on that palace that I've seen in a while. So thank you guys for watching this Tassadar DPS Tassadar commentary. Maybe I can do one later where I'm just full support, but probably not, because DPS Tassadar is just crazy and awesome and fun, and that's the way I am going to keep it. Make sure if you guys enjoyed this, give me that thumbs up. You know, the like button is